your programs, there's a note that says significance of the location. I just wanted to give a quick explanation of why this plaque is where it is. Actually, the driveway that enters into the parking lot is a common location, was what was the driveway that ran between the two main buildings in the old Ohio Military Institute. Your community recreation center sits on about the same spot as the two main buildings that were part of our school. So I kidded one night a while back at a forum meeting that I wasn't sure we might be sitting in my dorm room. This is why this is a special spot for all of us. The plaque actually sits at what would have been the corner of our parade ground, which took up the space that's your parking lot today. And from here, you'll notice when you see the plaque, there's a picture on it. And from here, you would get the same view of what we knew as Cary Hall, that was probably was where that picture was taken from. So again, there's a lot of history right here in this location. Jim, I think it's your turn to show us what we've got.
Again, on behalf of the Ohio Historical Society, congratulations to everybody who had a part of this.
Spent a lot of our time and a lot of our youth. My name's Tom Scherter. I'm an OMI Old Boy. Now, for the benefit of you here that do not know what an OMI Old Boy is, the Old Boy at OMI was an alumni. When you're 18 years old and young, that doesn't seem appropriate. But when you get older, you find it appears to be a word picked with wisdom. A short time after the class of 1958 graduated, the announcement was made OMI is closing its doors. To say it was a shock with an understatement. It was especially tough for the underclassmen planning on graduating from the school. The property was sold to the Cincinnati school system. The buildings were razed, and the property was cleared of any trace of historical past. Gone from College Hill was the 6 a.m. sound of a cannon and a bugle call of reveille. Gone was the marching sounds of cadets on a gravel drill field. Gone was the practice parades through the streets of College Hill with the OMI band playing. Gone was the dress parades on Sunday in May with the cadets marching in their white ducks and blue-gray tunics. Gone was the evening sound of a bugle call, playing taps the end of the day. I am sure all these things ceased when the announcement was made. I am sure some of our neighbors enjoyed the peace and quiet. But like General Douglas MacArthur, we have returned. Not as majestic as our beloved Cary Hall, not as large as the 46 acres of the original site, but as a small semicircle paved with bricks with a marker indicating the location of our beloved school. It is placed in the history of College Hill. We have something our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren could visit and read to see what Grandpa, Papa, or whatever old man or called my grandchildren is talking about when he said, in the old days where I went to school. We would like to dedicate this marker to the great community of College Hill, who for 68 years allowed the cadets of OMI make their homes on their streets, in their neighborhoods, and in their homes. We thank you. We would also like to dedicate this marker to the memory of Jeff Ripperger, the founder of our organization. 42 years after the closing of the school, Jeff decided it was time for the old boys to get together and to talk of old times. He contacted as many as he could find, and 12 old boys showed up in Dayton, Ohio for their first reunion in 42 years. The next year, Jeff had the reunion in Cincinnati, and the Ohio Military Institute Historical Associates was formed. We have a reunion every year now, and we've had one every year since 2000. Unfortunately, Jeff passed away a few days after 9/11 of a heart attack. He would have been very proud of his school and the old boys today. We have a lot of people to thank for their improvements and assistance in correcting this mark. The School Board of Cincinnati, the Recreation Committee, College Hill Community Center, Aiken High School, Ohio Historical Society, and one of our own, Bill McMillan, class of 1946. Bill has poured his heart and soul into this project. He has proceeded with a determination to complete the project as far as the money allows, so the old boys who attend these ceremonies today can feel proud of what we have accomplished. Bill, your mission has been accomplished. And we cannot forget the little guy from the last graduating class of OMI, Georgie Strayer, also known as Little Pete. Now, you have to know what we mean by that. we had a beloved instructor we all love, Pete Derrick, and Georgie looks just like Pete in miniature. Okay. He held up his hand, he stepped up to the plate and said, I'll take on the responsibility of raising the money for the project. And he did. Bill and George, we are lucky to have you as part of our group. And thanks for all you've done. Just so the old boys that are here today understand this, you raised most of the money. We still have some money to raise, so he'll be talking to you, I'm sure. And last but not forgotten, old boys, will you please stand up with your partners? Thank you for your financial support and also your spiritual support. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think back to those years you attended OMI. It's the first Saturday in June, graduation day. You have just attended baccalaureate services at Grace Episcopal Church. The cadet battalion is filing out of church to form ranks on Belmont Avenue. We'll march back to school for graduation. The ranks are formed. The command, "Charge!" is given. And then forward march, and the OMI band plays,